Let's go over the where command. So the select and from command that specifies which columns you want to extract from a certain table. But what if you don't want all the information in that column, but you want to filter it through? That's where commands come in play. So the where commands, you can further refine the data that you are collecting based on what you're really looking for. Right? So you can use signs like this. So say you only want certain observations that are equal to a certain value or a certain text, and you just want to pull that up. So that's where you can use a sign like that. Or if you have numbers, and you can define greater than, less than, equal to. Um, you can use these signs too in conjunction with your select and from. If you want to exclude certain data, that's where you use signs like these, depending on which kind of database management system you're using. Some will read both, some will read either one of the two. For SQLite Studio or SQLite, both works. Okay. So let's try a few examples. So the first one we will try is similar to this. We're going to select a column from a table where the column has a very specific value. Okay. And then we're going to come back and try the other functions too. Okay. Let's use the weather station data base. If you go to the weather station database, you can see that's your station data. You have station number, report code, year, month, day, dew point, station pressure, a few other information about the weather, fog, rain, hail, thunder, tornado. It's quite a large data set. I think it dates all the way back to 1930. That's quite a few observations there. Okay. Right. So let's go back to our editor. At any point, if you want to see more information, you can always go to the structure data, and then that will tell you what those row names are. So let's go to our SQL editor. Let's try an example where we select everything from the station data table, but only for the year 2010. Right? So we want all station data, all the rows, all weather information, but we don't want it for every year, we just want it for 2010. Right? So select, if you want all the columns, then you can do select star from station data. Okay. You can put this all in one line, it doesn't matter. You can separate out, the spaces don't matter. You can put as many spaces here. It's not going to change how the function is being operated, or the function is being run. Okay, so again, we want all station data, every information that we have, but we only want it for the year 2010. So for year equal to 2010. Oops, sorry. Let's go ahead and run it. So now you can see that we only have data for 2010. Okay. So you don't want 2010, you want everything except for 2010. The code is exactly the same. The only thing is you change this sign to exclamation point equal to 10. It took a little bit of time because it's quite a bit of data that it's pulling up. You can see you have all the years, but not 2010. Okay. Another sign that you can use in place of this is the less than and greater than sign together. There you go. So it does the same thing. It gives you all the years except for 2010. You can also use the not function. So where not year equal to 2010, you get the same thing. Right. Let's look at other functions. So you can use these signs too, less than, greater than, equal to. So if you want to get years less than 2010, less than 1935, whichever you want, you can try that. Let's try some of these. So in conjunction with these signs, you can also use and, between, or, in, not, commands like this to further filter your data, right? So you can use between if you want between two values, right? So where column name falls between value 1 and value 2. You can specify that, or you can put the greater than and less than signs to define your range. You can use an or function. You can, if you have multiple observations that you want, or multiple values that you want to draw out, the in command is very useful there, because then you don't have to type out every single one of them. You can just put in, and in parentheses put all the values that you're looking for. Okay, so let's try some of these and, or, in, between, in functions. Okay. So say we want to get data for all the years between 2005 and 2010, right? So same thing, select everything from station data. You don't have to do everything. You can specify things that you want to retrieve to. Let's say we want everything, so select star from station data where year is greater than, equal to 2005, and less than and equal to 2010. And year and year is less than, equal to 2010. So there you go. So it loaded all the years in between 2005 and 2010. Okay? So it loaded around 4,348 data points. You can set it up like this, or you can use the between function. So where year is between 2005 and 2010. Okay. So it's the same 4,348 data points. We get all of them. Right? I personally like to use the greater than, equal to sign, because then I know for sure that it is going to have 2005 and 2010 if that's what I'm looking for. Between is a little vague. Is it like, does it include the two or not? So it does include the two, but if you're ever confused, you can just specify exactly what you're looking for. So if you don't want 2005 and 2010, just years between, like 2006 to 2009, or if you want 2005 to 2010, I think using the signs, I feel more comfortable, because then I know exactly what I'm retrieving. Although in this, you also know exactly what you're retrieving. Okay, let's try another function. Let's try the or function. So say we want to get data for just the months so just the months of like 3, 6, 9, and 12. So March, June, September, and December. So that's what we're interested in. right? So select everything from station data, where if you want to use the OR function, you would have to specify where month is equal to 3, or again, you can write this whole thing in one line, or month is equal to 6, or month is equal to 9, or month is equal to 12. Okay. Let's run it. There you go. Now we only have for these 4 months. Okay. All right. A way to simplify this is to use the in function, where you specify exactly which month you're looking for without having to put all these OR functions, right? So if you want to use the in function, you can remove all of this and then just put where month in and parentheses 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay. So this is a much simpler code. You're less likely to type something that's not needed when the codes are shorter. Okay. All right. Let's see a few other functions. So we went over between, or, in. Right, some things you need to be careful of is if you have multiple of these that you're using, like or, and, between, you have like very specific things that you're looking for. Use parentheses in that case, just to make sure that the computer is reading the command correctly, because we are typing one thing, it makes sense in our head, but then the computer is functioning it or reading it in a different way. So you want to be very specific about exactly how you want the computer to retrieve that data. Okay, so say we want to look in a situation like really horrible weather. So which days had such horrible weather where like it was cold and raining. So rain is binary. So 0, 1, then 0 it did not rain, 1 it rained. So some day that it rained and the temperature was below, say, 32, right? So not a really great feeling. Or a day it snowed. Not that it's a bad day if it snows, but still. Or say it had like snow depth greater than 0, right? Maybe if you want to know about like driving conditions, this might be an important days to see what happened on those particular days. Okay, so we want days where either it rained and the temperature was below 32, so it was 30 less than equal to 32, or the snow depth was greater than 0, right? So this is what we are looking for. So again, let's go from that. Actually, let's just use the previous code. Okay, so select star from station data where rain is equal to 1, so it rained, and temperature was less than equal to 32. Okay, or snow depth, so that's a variable here. You can see snow depth was greater than 0. Okay, so we did run this, but it's not quite sure what the command is. Is the command that where it rained and pull up all the days where temperature was less than equal to 32, or it snowed? So maybe it ran it correctly, maybe it did not, right? So it's best to put parentheses around this so we know that the computer is returning the exact information that we want. So where it's, you have to have these two conditions, or snow depth has to be greater than 0. Okay, it does look like it pulled up what we were looking for. 1835, remember? Let's see, that parenthesis, what it was. Right, looks like it was pulling it up, but just in case, just to be safe, put those parentheses around it so it's reading it correctly. Okay, all right then. So now you know how to use where functions. Let me just make sure we have covered all these functions. So and, between, or, in, not. So you can use all these functions and build what exactly you are looking for. One more thing, if you are looking for a specific, like if it's a text, then you need to put those in a quotation sign. You need to put them as a code. So for instance, say we want to look up a particular report code, you can see these report codes. Go back, station data, if you go to the structure, then you'll see that these are not in numbers, so we'll need to use quotation signs to specify them. So select star from station data, say where report code, we're looking for a very specific report code that is equal to, so single code, not double, equal to 513 A63. Okay. Oh, report underscore code. Okay. So there you go. So it pulled up that one report code with that value. Okay. Right then, I think we have covered quite a few functions using the where function. So you can use signs, you can exclude data, and then you can also combine it with and, between, or, in, and not.